What is the role of a project manager when it comes to adaptive lifecycle? Primarily, when the people are preparing for PMP exam, they get confused because when they prepare and study Scrum, they don't find project manager. And when they look into a PMBOK content and then they look at a practice test and they start seeing, okay, there is a project manager and this certification is all about project management. So what is a project manager role when it comes to agile way of working or adaptive lifecycle way of working? See, in general, the project manager is accountable for project management. So whatever it takes, be it risk, be it costing, procurement, dealing with people, dealing with stakeholders, communication, you can say all the knowledge area, the project manager is accountable for all those aspects. And that remains the same even if we are getting into an adaptive life cycle. Now, there is a confusion because in adaptive life cycle, say a Scrum way of working, there are roles called Scrum Master, Product Owner, and you may say, okay, when these guys are doing everything, what the project manager is expected to do here? So yes, the Scrum is not defining what's the role of a project manager. The way I perceive the PMP exam, the project management, we should consider a situation where part of the project for a while might be happening in Scrum way or an Agile way, and part of the project might be happening in a different way. Maybe you can call it predictive lifecycle way. Or you might be running a large program and there are components which are in a predictive, there are components which are in adaptive. And even if there are more and more and more or less everything is in adaptive, still it might be multiple teams and there is a good amount of coordination and alignment and visioning might be needed. And that's what the project manager is expected to do. Yeah. See, technically speaking, Scrum way of working may not even recognize project way of working also. For them, everything is a product backlog. You keep building the product till the time market is needing the product. Whereas a project is a temporary endeavor. You have a start point, you have a goal, you have an end point, and you have an in-between temporary activities. The team keep coming going. So there is a projectized environment. So whenever the agile way of working get implemented in a projectized environment, there will be a need of a project management. Yeah, I'm using the word project management, which ensures the good starting throughout the project, a good alignment with the between the stakeholders, and ultimately finishing as per the identified goal. And that's what the project management activities are expected to do. Now, somebody may say, okay, if I have a question in the PMP and where the question may be asking that you need to do a backlog prioritization. So should I choose product owner or should I choose project manager? And I get to know the question is asking about adaptive lifecycle. So see, even in the adaptive lifecycle project manager's role, you are not expected to override the existing Agile and Scrum roles. So it's like this. The product owner is still expected to prioritize product backlog item. The product owner is still expected to do a stakeholder engagement. You need to ensure as a project manager that it is happening. If it is not happening, there is some training gap, there is some stakeholder collaboration gap between product owner and the stakeholders. You need to resolve that. So you are basically an impediment remover. You are basically a problem solver and facilitating all the external interface related stuffs whenever they get stuck. So when you see a question where the role may look like a Scrum role, and in the option the Scrum role is also available, better to choose a Scrum role. See, the idea of a project management is not all about doing, it's all about facilitating, and whenever something gets stuck, it may also comes at doing. But you don't want to do as a first thing. You want to ensure the people who are responsible for product management, product refinement, they are doing it. The Scrum Master who is responsible for team level collaboration, team level facilitation, he or she should be doing it. Yeah, you don't have to just jump and do those kind of a work, but you need to ensure that you are mentoring, coaching those Scrum Masters whenever needed so that they are really doing that job. Now, some of you might be working in a small project, where there is just a one team, but for PMP exam, don't think a small project, think of multiple teams, at least 50 plus people working together. Then you will start appreciating the role of a project manager in these kind of a life cycles as well. Even if you are working in a small team, you may say that there could be an overlap between what I do and what are the Scrum roles are expected to do. But to keep the confusion clear, think of enabling, think of overall accountability, think of getting the project goals achieved, think of overall facilitation and alignment, and that's the role of a project manager in case of adaptive life cycle, especially when it comes to a PMP exam, because each framework may have their own expectation from the project management.